Your intentions. Say a prayer. Alive. Alive, she cried. Alive. New book arrivals. Number 277. Yes. 277. Control. Copy. Let's put a thing on there. Let's put a thing on there. Okay. We'll do that, bruv. Save. What do you got, buddy? What do you got? What do you got? I ask you, what do you got? Inventory. You inventory in all your movies? Or work inventory? What do you got? All right, we'll put this on there, and then we're going to look at some books, buddy. New book arrivals, 277. Seven. Senatorial Privilege, the Chappaquiddick Cover-Up by Leo. I thought it said Led. Leo D'Amore. Or is it D'Amore? Hey, I'm a good man. I only killed a couple women. It's all right, buddy. You always get 2 or 3 free kills, and then you just go on to the Senate. Sometime between 11 p.m. and 1 a.m. on Friday, July 18th, 1969. Whoa. We don't need that, buddy. We don't need any of your double talking. Senator, he was already a senator when he killed her, plunged his car into a tidal pond on Chappaquiddick Island. Senator Kennedy escaped. Pretty Mary Jo Kopechne did not. Her tragic death in that mishap dashed Kennedy's presidential chances and left a haunting, unsolved mystery behind. It ain't really unsolved. She dead. And he either killed her or he was drunk and accidentally killed her, or the Illuminati killed her, but someone killed her. It's not really a mystery. Hey, it's a mystery. I was in the car, the next thing I knew, she was dead, buddy. Oh, she dead all right. She dead all right. All right, this one's a great one. The Rosary for Little Catholics. I'm not Catholic. Obviously, I'm a heathen. But look at that. Her name is Cindy Cretton. Or is it? Oh, it's Crean. They said Cretin. That was just the cross. That was. I thought it was Cretin, but no, it's Crean. But the highlight of this book is the end. Look at that face. There's your rosary, buddy. You better say your rosary every night. You better say it. Look at that face. Need to get that framed. That's brilliant. You better say your rosary, Bubba. Nice 25 cents. Warriors Don't Cry. Melba Pattillo Beals, winner of the Congressional Gold Medal. The stirring memoir of the battle to integrate Little Rock's Central High. There she is. In 1957, Melba Pattillo turned 16. That was also the year she became a warrior on the front lines of a civil rights firestorm. Following the landmark 1954 Supreme Court ruling, Brown v. Board of Education, Melba was one of 9 teenagers chosen to integrate Little Rock's Central High School. Throughout her harrowing ordeal, Melba was taunted by her schoolmates and their parents, threatened by a lynch mob's rope, attacked with lighted sticks of dynamite, Who the hell holds a lighted stick of dynamite? How long does it take for dynamite to go off? That seems unlikely that someone just held a lighted stick of dynamite. And injured by acid sprayed in her eyes. But through it all, she acted with dignity and courage and refused to back down. This is her remarkable story. Yeah, how long does a stick of dynamite take to go off? Maybe it had a long fuse, but who the hell is going to risk that? Who's going to risk holding that? Anyway, there's that. Frankenstein, Ignatius Critical Editions. You have read this strange and terrific story, Margaret, and you do not feel your blood congeal with horror like that which even more curdles mine? No. Yeah, but how long is it? Would you risk knowing that you had a lit stick of dynamite in your hand? It seems insane. I understand you're trying to intimidate someone, but isn't that like a threat to yourself? It just seems incredible that someone would hold a lit stick of dynamite and threaten somebody with it. I mean, it's just stupid if you did. Obviously, everyone knows what Frankenstein is, but Frankenstein. But this is a critical edition with some kind of editorial to go along with it. The Vicar of Bohampton, with 35 illustrations by H. Woods. H. Woods? Who's H. Woods? This is one of the books I left behind from last week of Trollops, just because it has this split spine, so it's got a little cave underneath it. But now I have this. It has a nice illustration on the cover. If nothing else, we'll see what it's about. English novelist Hugh Walpole characterized The Vicar of Bohampton as the Trollope novel which most nearly approaches the temper and spirit of Jane Austen, approaches that great writer possibly more closely than any other novelist in the English language. At the same time, in this first tale to be written in his capacity as full-time writer, having left the post office, what's he, the fucking Victorian Charles Bukowski? After 35 years, Trollope is never more confident, never more completely himself. This facsimile reproduction of a very rare first edition brings back some of the choicest and richest of Trollope's country settings in a novel unjustly neglected and almost inaccessible for over a century. Also, since you're here, Mr. Prue, I saw, what was it, YouTube or Instagram short that said that the original Hobbit had a different beginning. So if you read The Hobbit and haven't read the alternative version, then maybe you should, because apparently there's some kind of difference in between the first edition and what became the popular edition. Just so you know. I haven't read it, so I don't know either way. Blue Collar Marriage, Mira Komarovsky, Barnard College, Columbia University, a vintage book, obviously mass market paperback. It's a favorite of mine. Welcome to chat. What is this? What is this? Yeah, so if you can, I think there's probably a PDF of it. Yeah, apparently it changed the whole story. Something about, what was his name? Bilbo Baggins? I don't know who the hell was in there. Can't remember the name, but he lied about something. Look for it, just like Google or go on YouTube and just look up the alternative version of The Hobbit. Blue Collar Marriage by Mira Komarovsky. Bilbo Baggins, yeah. Not since Earl Kuz's Family in Trouble was published some 20 years ago have we had as comprehensive a study of working class families as this one. Komarovsky and her students interviewed a small group of working class families, solid citizens active in the labor force who functioned pretty much unaided by existing social programs. The interviews provide a wealth of material on almost every significant aspect of married life. There you go. since I do have a section on marriage, which never read a single word of any of them, but there you go. Robert Lowell, selected poems. I believe I have this, but I don't know, so I can always sell it since I now probably have a copy of this one and the one I just bought the other day, whatever that was. Day and Night or something like that. One of God's creatures, just as much as you are God. What other bends its back in crooks and curves so gracefully to yield a point, brews a more scalding venom from cold blood, or flings a spine string noosed about their throats? Hysterical, he's not even English, is he? Hysterical bird, wild pig, or screaming rabbit. Often I see it sunning on bright, brisk days when the heat has ebbed from its beloved rocks. It is seamless, scaled down to its integrity, coiled for indiscriminate malevolence. Lately, its valor pushed it past man's patience. Stoned, raw-fleshed, it finds its hole, sentenced to hibernate 50 years. It will thaw, then kill. My little whip of wisdom, lamb and wolf's skin. Is that a sonnet? 3, 6, 9, 12, 14. It is. Maybe I'll save that for my little feature on sonnets coming up here some year. It does seem like a sonnet, doesn't it? Put this down and grab a little placeholder. There we go. This Bone Chiller, a comedic mystery thriller by Monk Ferris. I don't know if this is old or not. I looked for the damn date. I couldn't find it, so I just said it's probably a reprint of something. See, there's all the other ones, so maybe it is an old classic. I was too lazy to read this. Where's Bone Chiller from? See, it doesn't really have a date. Oh, there it is, you dumbass. 1985. Buzz Burdett. Library of the Traverse Mansion in New York City. Maybe I'll read this on the channel. I don't know what it is. Never heard of it. What is all this bullshit? Bone Chiller. So she sees Lucretia's body on sofa and reacts with a loud scream, lurching backward till she supports herself on front edge of phonograph with the heels of her hands. Others, of course, react to scream, turn and see her. Yeah, a real thriller. All right, let's see what it says. A fine monster you are. Let's murder Marcia. Don't tell mother. The hell is Monk Ferris? I gotta look Monk Ferris up. Monk Ferris, who are you? This will tell me when it was written, I suppose. Monk Ferris is one of several pen names for prolific playwright Jack Sharkey, 1931 to 1992. Mr. Sharkey was born in Chicago. Who cares? He began writing when he was 10 years old, so he started writing in 1941. It's all right, so he's 20th century. Just never heard of the guy. Now I've heard of him. The Haunted House. Choose your own adventure number 2. I always pick up these CYOA books just because they're worth money. And this one's no exception. I bought it for 70 cents. Probably get $10 for it. Look at that scary ending. Oh my gosh. Oh, good. There's like 20 endings. I guess. I've never read one of these. You and your dog Homer are walking home from school one day. You throw a stick and Homer chases it right into an abandoned house. The house looks so creepy that you're scared to go in, but you've got to find Homer. He's your best friend. There are lots of places you can look. Where do you start? If you go to the cellar to find Homer, turn to page 10. All right. Madame de Lafayette, the Princess de Cleves. A new translation by Terence Cave. Obviously, this is some, what's this? Receipt for the University of Michigan parking service. $2.40 per hour. Total dues $6. It's not bad. Let's see what this is about. Poised between the fading world of chivalric romance and the new psychological realism, Madame de Lafayette's novel of passion and self deception marks a turning point in the history of the novel. When it first appeared anonymously in 1678, in the heyday of French classicism, it aroused fierce controversy among critics and readers, in particular for the extraordinary confession which forms the climax of the story. Having long been considered a classic, it is now regarded as a landmark in the history of women's writing. All right, there you go. Seeing Things by Seamus Heaney, book of poems. Let's read a short one. For Ted Hughes. There are no short ones. They're really short ones, but are these sonnets? That would be great if they were, but they're not. That's part of a long poem. Well, I guess we're not going to read a short one. Fostering. I'm not reading that. I guess maybe I'll read this one. That heavy greenness fostered by water. At school, I loved one picture's heavy greenness. Horizons rigged with windmills, arms, and sails. The mill houses still outlines. They're in plain. I can't read that. It's not very good. Trollope again. A commentary. Michael Sadler. Or Sadleer. It looks like Marx. Anthony Trollope. Use a Trollope, bruv. There was a autobiography of Trollope too, but part of the spine got chewed off by a fucking gremlin, so I left it there. I'll probably get it next time when I can't find any books. No one else wants it, I'll get it. I'll get it, bruv. So, more Trollope for you Trollopes. Partial Accounts, New and Selected Poems, William Meredith. Don't really know who Meredith is, but let's read one of his selections here. About opera. It's not the tunes. Although, as I get older, arias are what I hum and whistle. It's not the plots, they continue to bewilder. In the tongue I speak and in several that I wrestle. An image of articulateness is what it is. Isn't this how we've always longed to talk? Words as they fall are monotone and bloodless, but they yearn to take the risks these noises take. What dancing is to the slightly spastic way most of us teeter through our bodily life. Are these measured cries to the clumsy things we say in the heart's duresses on the heart's behalf? No, I don't think so. Gay New York. Gender, Urban Culture, and the Making of the Gay Male World, 1890 to 1940. One day, if I get a bookstore, I'll have to have me an LGBT section. So here we go. I'll never get this off here. This particular Salvation Army that I go to, there seems to be somebody who is into gender studies and gay literature. So I have a selection, but I usually don't pick up anything unless it is specific. Say, like, there's one that they've had there for months. It's lesbian parenting. And I'm just like, I ain't getting that shit. This one is at least specific to New York. Like I said, I'm not going to read it, but I have it if I need it, bruv. But you never know. You might need it for something. Whoa! Third Plague, Sex, Brevities. And the accompaniment of that book is Making Sex, Body and Gender from the Greeks to Freud. I guess they're not related specifically, but they were in the new basket of offerings together, so I grabbed them both. The body's pleasures also remained as intimately bound with generation as they had been for Hippocrates. Much delight accompanies the ejection of the sea. Jesus Christ. All right, bruvs. Body and gender from the Greeks to Freud. The hell is this? A skeleton talking to a woman, and then just a bunch of naked chicks. The Profiler, My Life Hunting Serial Killers and Psychopaths. Another book from me, mother. So my mother can tell me about people sawing off heads and stuff when I talk to her on the phone. She loves to tell me about people getting killed. And at one time at the store, I told this dude that my mother only reads true crime, and he's like, well, you never know. Maybe she's a killer, too. And I was like, yeah, I don't fucking think so, but I wouldn't blame her, honestly, but yeah, something tells me she's not a killer. Oh. Hey, I'm writing about dead people, killed people, the Kilties. Hemingway, The Final Years. Generally don't pay $2 for a book, but since I got this book and the Chappaquiddick book for 10 cents, I kind of offset it, so they were about 66 cents a piece. So I forked over, and plus I didn't have 20 cents, so I wasn't going to pay for these if I didn't find this. So I found this, and I paid $2 for 3 books when I should have paid $2.20, but I didn't have the 20 cents. So there you go. Everyone knows who Hemingway is. Some know about his final years when he offed himself with a shotgun. But yeah, that's Ernie. Heavy drinking, fighting with his wife, in love with all kinds of women who he apparently did not hook up with at the end, even though he seemingly hated his wife. So I don't know what's going on with that. But he's dead now, so it doesn't really matter. Bone Chiller, there it is. Let's see what it says. A very funny murder mystery spoof, though it can be confusing at times. 13 people gather on Friday the 13th at the Traverse Mansion. In New York for the reading of Josiah's will, which is a wall chart rendered in the form of a rebus, a part word, part drawing puzzle solution. Instead of designating an heir, it offers the estate to anyone who can solve the will. The lights keep going out and people keep getting murdered. The audience will have a ball trying to untangle the puzzle faster than the hapless characters. By the final act, revelations are exploding as surprise piles upon surprise and gasps alternate with howls of laughter. As I said, that is for... Where did that book go? I don't know where the hell it went. Where did it go? Maybe it's under there. Yeah, it's for that book, Bone Chiller. Alright, bruvs, that's all. I gotta go eat. Goodbye, bruv. Good boy. Good boy. Guten Abend, Herr Morgan.